Okay, so we're on another walk, Barry and I. And first thing I wanted to show was a Harley girl, Tree, asked for a better picture of the mulberry. So give me a moment here. I just have to take a path through some branches here. Now, don't know if you can see the larger leaves on them or not. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit more. They have larger leaves. Hang on, you can see those leaves there? Those are the mulberry leaves. And this is the actual tree right here. Those aren't its leaves there, that's a briar that's attached to it. But as we go up the tree, you can get a look at its leaves there. So they're a larger leaf, and it's a pretty tall tree. It goes way up in there. And I like mulberries. There's nothing wrong with mulberries, but I don't get an opportunity very often to eat them because of the wild animals. Speaking of wild animals, if you look right over there, I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay, do you see that big hole there? Zoom in just a tad there. And I know when I zoom in the vibrations really show. But there is what I believe to be, now I don't have evidence, yes I do actually. I've seen some of the scat, the poop of the animal, and I think it is a fox. I don't know that it was originally the fox's den, but it is now. And I'm not going to walk through here because of these briars. And I don't know if you can see the thorns on those. They're pretty mean. And I'm wearing shorts. So, there we go. Sorry, I was zoomed in. Yeah, I wear my little plastic skull shoes. See the skulls on them? I don't know if you can see them or not. See? They're Birkenstocks, and I wear those out on my property most of the time, and I'll tell you why. First of all, they're waterproof because they're plastic. And I'm not a fan of Crocs and things like that. I would never wear these out in public. Oh, look. One of the residents of Soapy Oaks Farm. Hi, little turtle. Hi, Mr. Turtle. Okay. Bye, Mr. Turtle. Have a good day. All right, so let's get out of here. And I've learned how to, or educated myself on how to make the video a little better for you by getting out of Zoom when I'm not needing to be in Zoom, because that just magnifies any kind of vibration. Okay, so I showed you all, you've seen this pond before, but I thought I would take you around and we'll go look at the other pond. Yep, over on the other side's another one. So we've never done that, so let's take a little walk. Okay, so over on the other side of the property is this pond. It's a little more hidden. Let's see if I can get a good look at it for you. Trees have gone a little wild here. It's very peaceful here. Just the birds, some little fishies in the trees. And you may wonder, well, Patrick, if you have this pond, why are you showing the other pond? Well, for one thing, this one is more for, it's just kind of wild. There's just the willows, there's mostly willows around it. There are some persimmons. There are a couple fruit trees and such. But the other one is for the animals. So it's fenced in the area where all the animals are. And this one is quite separate. And so I just don't make it over here as much. Anyway, okay, let's get back. I've got things I need to be doing, but I just wanted to share a little bit with you all. I did think I'd show you yet another tree, right? This is what's known as a bodark tree. Some people call it a horse apple. It doesn't have the apples on it right now. This one's a boy, so it's not going to have horse apples. I have some in the back that are females and have apples. They're not a true apple. That's just a nickname for them. But bodark are one of the hardest of all the woods and one of the most water and rot resistant. And as such, they were used for decades and millennia, perhaps, for the foundations of homes. They would make posts out of this and use it to set their homes upon. It's been used as fence posts. There are bodark fence posts that have been on this property, on the back of this property, for well over 100 years and are still standing. Anyway, it is a thorny tree. They're not as horrible as some of the others, but you can see it there. You wouldn't want that poking in you. But it's a very useful tree. And besides here, it's a nice shade tree. It's very tall, it's very full, and so I just let it do what it does. What you can't hear, because there's not much of a breeze right now, are the seed pods on this mimosa. They rattle in the wind. They're dry and they have little black beans inside, and when the wind hits them just right, it's like some type of castanets and various different types of little instruments. Anyway, I'm being silly, but they are a lot of fun. Are you hotberry? Hmm? You a little warm? So I did want to address apparently my incomplete story about the bones. After the investigation was completed, the family was actually located. They live out of state. They were not interested in the bones. They said that's interesting, and that was about it. They showed no interest in taking the bones, burying them elsewhere, or anything like that. And I asked if they could just stay here. So they are reburied here. They're now 6 feet underground in boxes. There were three people, and all three of them are in their own separate space, and they live under here. And I know their names. No, I don't know their first names. I just know the last name of the family. And so when I walk by here, I often say hi to them. And not that I believe they're here. I'm not very superstitious or anything. It's just a silly little ritual that I started. This was back when one of my other family members was still alive. And anyway, so that's the story. So they remain. I remain. Life is good. I like it. Goodbye.